Hi, friends. It's Laura Hayes. I am the founder of the Brave Girl Project. This is my second Facebook Live. I actually just finished dancing around the room, so I feel much better. And I am so excited to be here. The Brave Girl Project is a place for girls of all ages to gain the tips and skills to live life bravely. And tonight, I wanted to talk about something that I see a lot of girls needing. And I think as a parent, I think if you could write in the comment section, what are the things you want your daughter to have? What is the skills or the gifts that you want her to have going into the future? So if you're watching this live, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're watching this in the replay, still add in the comments. For me as a parent, what I want is I want my child to feel happy. I want them to be healthy, and I want them to feel confident. And as a coach, a lot of times I'm working with people where I see that they're not as confident as they could be. They're really struggling. And I pretty much work with kids ages 7 to 25, but especially my middle school friends and my late elementary students. They really are struggling with the self-confidence. And so tonight, I want to give you the one thing that your daughter needs to be happy. And so imagine a best friend for your daughter. Who would that person be? What qualities would this person have? Imagine almost like this best friend is going to be with your daughter all the time. This is the most encouraging friend. They're always going to be lifting her up and having good things to say to her. This friend, this best friend that we're looking for is always going to kind of guide her in the right direction, gives great advice, helps them figure out major decisions. And, you know, when you describe a best friend like that, you're like, wow, that's a big, tall order there. But the secret for your daughter's happiness is for her to be her own best friend. She needs to be that person for herself. And I see a lot of girls that are so hard. A lot of our kids have ants, automatic negative thoughts that are constantly running inside their heads. And so I'm going to share 4 tips to help your daughter be her own best friend. So the first one is for your daughter to love herself like she would her best friend. And so help her make that connection. Talk to her about those other friends and all the great things she does in those relationships. And then, you know, if your daughter's struggling with something, try to point out, like, how would you treat your friend if she was dealing with the same situation? What would you do? What would you say to her? And then how can you now say this to yourself? How can you be this person for yourself? The second is to support yourself as your best friend does. A lot of times our best friends give us great advice. Growing up, I was blessed. I had a wonderful group of friends. We're friends on Facebook still. Sometimes we still get to see each other. My high school friends, we still stay connected. My college friends, we call each other every week. And so I've been very fortunate that I've had this wonderful group of people that are always lifting me up, giving me the encouragement, giving me the support. But I oftentimes see girls that feel really disconnected and they're overwhelmed with the problems that are going on in their friendships. This afternoon, I had some friends that came to see me, and it was basically friendships not believing each other and not being able to see each other's perspective. And sometimes our friends give us great advice, and we just need to kind of listen to what that advice would be. Imagine if your friend had this problem, what advice would you give to them? A lot of times our daughters, they're really listening to what we're saying and doing and watching. And if you can do some of the self-talk out loud for yourself, so that they can hear you are saying to you, letting them see, gosh, I'm really struggling with this problem. I'm going to figure it out. If this were happening to someone else, I think this is what I would say. How can I make this be something that I can do for myself? The third thing for your daughter to be happy, she probably spends time with her friends. She makes that a priority, especially if you have a teenage daughter. She is spending time with her friends and making that a priority. Sometimes you probably wish it wasn't so much a priority. But we also have to book time with ourselves, just like we would do with our own best friend. And this is especially important for us moms, because I know I don't always book time for myself. A lot of times, we're running the kids around to different places. We're doing things for family, for other friends, and we're not taking the time to be our own best friend and book time with ourselves. So I want your daughters to start doing that. Our kids sometimes are so overscheduled and they're running from activity to activity, especially our girls. There's so much pressure for them to be perfect. And they need more downtime and time away from social media and the time to just kind of check into themselves, whether it's doing an activity they like art, going on a hike or a walk, painting their fingernails, doing something just by themselves. And so we can be a role model for that as parents and as moms. And then the fourth is talk to yourself as you would your own best friend. It's kind of like the golden rule. If you would not say it to your best friend, you should not be saying it inside your head. And this is so important. The automatic negative thoughts are constantly running. We all do it. It's natural. But what we need to do is become more aware of it. And so having these conversations with your daughter about being her own best friend and what that looks like and what that means can really help her in being kind and confident. And so that when things do happen, because there's going to be problems, there's going to be hurts from friendships, there's going to be, failures, different things. She needs to be that person to be there to get herself back up. I think in our society, there's this thought that girls should be perfect. And instead of being perfect, I think we should let our girls be brave and that they should have the opportunity to fail and to get themselves back up, and that it's not perfection. We're just looking for them to take risks. And being your own best friend is a wonderful way to kind of support yourself. The one biggest thing that I like to teach kids, and this is so important, and it sounds so simple, but it really is the key to a lot of the problems that we experience, is that our thoughts create our feelings. And so having the opportunity to build the skill set where you are treating yourself like your very best friend, and you're taking good care of yourself, and you're using positive self-talk, and you're problem solving like you would with your best friend, and you're making yourself a priority, then your thoughts are healthy thoughts. You're having good thoughts about yourself. And then in turn, your feelings are good. So I hope that you can help your daughters with this. I will be having different groups offered over the summer. We're going to do some online coaching groups, which I'm very excited about. So if you're interested in possibly having your daughter attend one of those online, feel free to private message me or write in the comment. Please also share if there's a particular thing that your daughter is struggling or dealing with, because I will be continuing to do future Facebook Lives. Also, if you enjoyed this or you got some benefit, please give me a heart. It really means a lot. Last week, I was so touched by all the encouraging words and comments. It really, really helped me feel comfortable in doing this in front of people. And it really helped me come back and do it again. My goal is to help girls live life bravely. That means that I got to push myself and live life bravely, and I hope that you can too. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday Eve, so we're almost there. The school year in Northern Virginia is almost over. If your daughters are having a difficult time with friendships, hang in there. It's almost over. We can make it. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to share and give me a heart. See you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.